I'm quite sure my mother is very sorry that she ever gave me a James Herriot book because up until I read that, I hadn't even thought about that as a career as a veterinarian. I was planning on being a medical doctor, a physician, entering that field. And I'm sure she's like, oh, shoot, this job is a teaching job, which ultimately is what I love, front end of trying to tell them what's coming rather than trying to play catch up of things that they already know about. And say, this is what the next level is. So I need to learn the next level so that I can go back and teach them, which
Mhm.
is which really does fill a passion of mine. Everybody's so passionate about what they do here, but in particular in the last, certainly in the last 7 years that I've been involved in headquarters, and even before that, when it was Pfizer, just the looking, the forward-looking nature of the company and the innovation and coming out with new things. When I first came on board, um, it was it was as we were getting ready for Apoquel. It was still not well known. But Serenia had just come out, Convenia had just come out. These were all completely novel drugs in the veterinary profession. And if anybody tells me that they can practice without Serenia, I'd be very surprised. That seems to be like that secret drug that everybody wants.
Mhm.
So that, and then to see the different, I was involved in, they drew me in as you and I had that connection of parasitology and the Heartworm Society and that, how much I love my ticks. But it drew me over because the parasitology drew me into the home office as we launched Simparica. They needed somebody who wanted, I don't think they could find anybody more passionate about ticks than me and as crazy as I was. And so that was very new to the company and everything was new and they wanted to educate. And as Zoetis and as Pfizer, we like to make sure that we're not just talking about this product, we're talking about the area of medicine and how this fits in and how this can advance the profession and help animals live better quality lives. Solensia is a monoclonal antibody that is for the control of osteoarthritis pain in cats. We have learned more. There is a deeper path in terms of osteoarthritis and chronic pain. And the chronic pain that happens with osteoarthritis is what we get into, which is that chronic pain like people, it's maladaptive, it's excruciating, it's non-ending, it is progressive, and we can't fix osteoarthritis, but we can manage that pain and make life livable. One of the key drivers that has been found, certainly prostaglandins are a key driver of osteoarthritis pain, but even more importantly is a substance called nerve growth factor. Substance has one function in a very young growing animal, a fetus, which is to develop the nervous system. That's what the name of it is, nerve growth factor. It grows the nervous system. But once the nervous system has been developed, the function of this protein changes, or the primary function of it. Instead of primarily now growing the nervous system, now it works with pain. So it becomes a key driver in that chronic pain cascade and making things worse. And the ability to impact and lower the amount of nerve growth factor in the body with osteoarthritis, because in osteoarthritis pain, nerve growth factor becomes elevated. Nerve growth factor goes up. We want to lower it back down to its regular normal baseline level, and that decreases the amount of pain and it sort of backs off that progression of maladaptive pain we used to call wind up, something that where the pain it becomes its own disease state. I get phone calls and letters and emails and people stopping me at meetings and just thanking us, thanking me, thanking the company, and telling me these stories that just make me cry of animals that they my favorite one ever was a letter that was sent where the pet owner said, I didn't realize my cat was no longer purring until I gave this drug and I heard her purring again. And she said that Silencia gave my cat her purr back. And I just crumbled. That was just beautiful.